in the chair. We got a lot to talk about today. What a weekend we had. What a season finale we had. Before you already know what show we're about to talk to you about. If you don't know, now you know. WandaVision on Disney Plus. Wow. What a roller coaster it was. We are now here able to talk about the whole series. But before we get into that, I'm going to need you to like this video. I'm going to need you to scroll down to sub if you have not, because we are still on the road to 100 subscribers. Please, that is the next goal. Trying to hit this as fast as possible. Let's try to hit this before Justice League comes out. Let's get to 100 subs. So please share this video with a friend. Share this on your Instagram, all your social medias. Try and get this YouTube channel known and out there. Please, they will not be disappointed you put them on. So with all that nonsense out of the way, let's get right on into it. Let's light a little nice candle up here. Oof. My witch powers. Bang. Dealing with some allergy problems today, so sorry about that. But, wow. First thing I'm going to say for this season finale we got. Little bit of a bummer, huh? Little bit of a bummer. Just a tad, just a tad disappointed. Could be my own fault. It very much could be. The expectations were a lot higher than what they should have been, and it's not really just my fault. It's pretty much every YouTuber, every nerd out there. We were all wrong, pretty much. We were all pretty much wrong. We didn't get the Mephisto. We didn't even get Doctor Strange appearance, which was really surprising. I was almost guaranteeing we were gonna get Doctor Strange in this show. Especially when I heard it was the highest budget a TV show has ever had in the history of a series. I thought some part of that was going to Benedict Cumberbatch's salary. But I was wrong. We got a lot to get into. So, and according to Rotten Tomatoes, I wasn't the only one disappointed, because there's I believe 3 or 4 episodes on Rotten Tomatoes that got 100% on the audience score. The finale only got an 81, which is low, which is really low for this show. If you check out all the other scorings, it's pretty much one of the lowest, and I believe that's because the expectations were just so high for everybody. Now we're gonna start off with talking about Vision here, the White Vision versus Soul Vision, Mind Memory Stone Vision. I don't even know what to call Westview Vision here. I guess we can call him that, Westview Vision. So we got the Paul Bettany cameo that he was talking about, and he trolled us all. Wow. And you know what? I gotta respect it. He promoted it. He fooled everybody. He fooled everybody. The man he was talking about, the actor he wanted to work with for so long, ended up being Paul Bettany himself. Yeah, that really happened. But I mean, it was an awesome fight. We got the we got the White Vision showing up in front of Wanda's house. We already knew, which was kind of a dope part that they did as the audience. We already knew what White Vision was there for, which was to destroy Wanda. But she had no idea. She was confused. And in the comics, White Vision is pretty much the same as they did in the show, and I really give him props for that. In the comics, he is just a robot, just a drone with no feelings, no emotions, and is there to do a mission, period. And I think they did that awesome. I loved the look. I love that they didn't just copy and paste and just make him white. You can see, if you look really close at the White Vision, there's different structures, and obviously the Mind Stone is not there. I think he looks awesome, honestly. And the fight was awesome. Right from the beginning, we start off from the ending of episode 8 with Agatha holding the 2 kids that we're gonna get into soon in Billy and Tommy. And wow, is Agatha Harkness a powerful witch, as the whole plan for her was to get Wanda to use her powers so she can absorb it and so she can get the chaos magic. Like I said in the previous episode talking about WandaVision, I did not want Agatha to be the big bad. It ended up she was. Kind of also with director Hayward of S.W.O.R.D., but he was kind of also just a throw-in character, I guess. Didn't really have much to do on the show. I thought he was going to be bigger. A lot of people had theories he was Mephisto, but he ended up just being a nobody. And, you know, just to throw a quick thought out there on Hayward, it's a little, I mean, they wanted you to hate him. Do I think we see him again in the MCU? I don't, and I hope not. Just the character, I didn't attach myself to the Hayward character. I didn't hate him enough to care to see him again in future MCU. The fact that he just jumps out the car and just starts shooting Billy and Tommy is like, they no talk, no nothing, just shoot little kids on sight. I didn't like it. I don't like what they did with the Hayward character. That was a big downfall for me with the Hayward character. But yeah, back to Agatha. So we find out she is Agatha Harkness. We all kind of knew that already. And she's holding the Darkhold. Now, if you guys are big Marvel fans, you probably did see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The Darkhold was in that series as well. The book looks totally different now. It looks way more badass. And I believe that's because Kevin Feige himself has confirmed that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon in the MCU. So all that is not happening inside the real cinematic universe. So we get the first look of the real Darkhold in the cinematic universe, which is quote unquote by Agatha Harkness, the Book of the Damned. We all know that book was created for dark magic, to be studied for dark magic. And it's also chaos magic is in there. And the creator of the Darkhold, if you don't know, is Chthon, who's the creator of chaos magic, who gives Wanda the chaos magic in the comics, is Chthon. So when Agatha says, and I quote, "You have no idea what you just released," are we talking about Chthon? Are we talking about she just released the Scarlet Witch? Is Wanda now the new villain going into Doctor Strange? I really love how this finale, I mean, this show set up a whole bunch, and we know that. And unfortunately, it ended up just being that, a setup for the future MCU. But they did great. They did a great job setting everything up. I think this set up Spider-Man 3. I think it set up Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness for sure. And I don't know. I don't know if we get Scarlet Witch as a villain, or she jumps into the multiverse looking for her kids as a team with Doctor Strange. Who knows? What else is revealed we got here? We got the Evan Peters reveal. And another bummer there. What was that about? What was the point? Ralph Boner. Ralph Boner. I mean, part of me still doesn't want to give up on the theory that he is Quicksilver from the Fox. And I feel like they played it off really good for him to be the Quicksilver from the Fox. We get the man cave, which, in my opinion, resembles the man cave that we see in the X-Men movies with that Quicksilver's in when Wolverine goes to recruit him. He looks like he's in somewhat of the same man cave, so I don't know if they're just playing with us there, but I think he ended up just being a fun throw-in for Kevin Feige and the producers on this show just to get the audience excited. But yeah, I think he just ended up being a regular civilian from the Westview that got mind controlled, which, again, is a bummer for me, in all honesty. What else? Going back to that Hayward, actually, let's go back to that Hayward shooting, because that Hayward shooting actually showed us a little more of Maria Rambeau, or I should say Monica Rambeau, the daughter. I guess that's all we got. I didn't want to see her full photon. It would make no sense. I would hope that when she goes up to see Sword and all that, whoever she goes to see, and they train her and whatever, and that sets up Captain Marvel 2, I think. So with speaking of photon, let's get right into that mid-credit scene where the detective, out of nowhere, she was never in the show before, comes up and tells Monica to go into the theater. I just want to throw this out as well. Agent Woo, I feel, is the new agent, is Phil Coulson. I feel like that's what they're doing with Jimmy Woo. I think the same thing they did with Phil Coulson. So I think I love Agent Woo. I think they need to use him as much as possible, just to throw that out there. I love that character. So back to Monica. She goes into this theater in the mid-credit scene, and I called it. I just want to say, on my previous episode, I knew Skrulls was gonna be somewhere in here with, just because of Monica, which would be dope. Or like I said, Captain Marvel 2, which would make more sense. And that's pretty much it with the mid-credit scene. We didn't get much. Like I said, I think it's Talos or Nick Fury. And that sets up Photon's future story to go into Captain Marvel 2. Now the post-credit scene. This is where I thought Doctor Strange was coming for sure. It's like, come on, 2 seconds of Strange, 2 seconds of either Mephisto, Nightmare, or Chthon, whichever your big bad is. I get it, maybe I'm a little too greedy. We got a lot of things, I can't be too greedy. But we do go into the post-credit scene with the astral projection that we actually have seen Doctor Strange use himself. Also, just a quick thought, I want to throw this out there as well. Agatha said herself, and I quote to Scarlet Witch, "Your powers exceed the power of the Sorcerer Supreme," which is a little surprising to me. But I do think Strange is still stronger because he's trained and knows how to use it. But once Wanda figures it out and everything, I guess they're setting up her to be more powerful than Doctor Strange. So yeah, we see the astral projection that we've gotten in Doctor Strange before. Remember when he was on the hospital bed talking her to try and help him with his surgery or whatever. We got the astral projection. She just looks like a normal little girl drinking her tea. But no, the Scarlet Witch is studying WandaVision. We finally got Wanda Maximoff. And we knew who she was, but we never really got the name. We got the first name drop of the Scarlet Witch in the show. And she finally transforms into the Scarlet Witch. And let me tell you, what they did with that costume was damn near perfect. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. She looks awesome. Awesome. That is Scarlet Witch. I'm so excited to either see her fight Doctor Strange or team up with him. That is like, oh my God, I can't wait for next year. Oh my God, what a movie year we have next year. And then we also got the little screams from Billy and Tommy in that post-credit scene. So now, back to Mephisto this brings. We know in the comics, Billy and Tommy are shards of Mephisto. We even got a little hint when Evan Peters said in the Halloween episode, when he unleashed demon spawn children, he giving hints, all Mephisto, whatever, the devil in the poster, the devil's in the details, whatever, all that devil talk, and we got no sight of him. But
we did have something more planned for Senor Scratchy, which we ultimately couldn't do just because the finale, we had so many different, as I said, so many different chess pieces on but we did have a whole sequence where the rabbit hops up in front of the book And they're like, oh, it's Senor Scratchy. He's the best. And they like reach over to pet him and he like hisses. And then this whole American Werewolf in London transformation happens and the rabbit turns into this big demon, right?
I think it is a setup for either him or Nightmare, which I believe is the big bad that is coming. I believe it's Nightmare for Doctor Strange 2. I don't think they like, Marvel's done a really good job with this, with just inspiring from comic books, but not exactly copying what exactly happens in the comic books. But I just don't see it. I don't see how they use Billy and Tommy as shards of somebody else, a devil. I don't see that translating to the big screen as well as other storylines can make it, and I know they can make it way better. I do think Billy and Tommy is just in another dimension because Scarlet Witch, now that she is Scarlet Witch and transforms, she is a Nexus being, meaning she is one of very few people in the universe that is Nexus. So she is the same Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, in every single multiverse dimension. She's the same. It's her. She's one. She can travel through dimensions and she will be the only one. She's a Nexus being. With that being said, she is going to obviously break the multiverse and go looking for her children. I don't know if she's going to just not care about anything else and just go chaotic with her chaos magic and just destroy everything because, again, maybe another setup. Quote, she is destined to ruin the world, something like that. Or his job is to protect our reality.
Do our jobs. What is your job exactly besides making balloon animals?
Protecting your reality, douchebag.
Okay.
And with that being said, I think I went through everything I wanted to go through on this. It was a crazy show to set up everything. I loved it. Definitely will go down as my top 10 shows I've ever seen. They did an amazing job on cinematography, on inspiring from paying homage to old sitcoms like the Dick Van Dyke Show, which was the big one, and just, you know, going through the MCU in itself, kind of when like Vision gave White Vision all his memories and we got to see all of that. I think they did a really great job on just putting this show together, because if you put this show on paper, it sounds near impossible to make sense and to make this on the big screen and to make it look good. The House of M story, but hey, Elizabeth Olsen said the plot 5 years ago in an interview. She got it done with her. This is the show she wanted. I think this was the perfect way to start off the Disney Plus shows and set up the multiverse. Perfect way. And with my final thoughts on this show, I'm going to end with this. They say a lot in the season finale. Family is forever. Family is forever. I loved, this was the perfect way for Vision to go. Loved it. I was a voice with nobody. I was this and that. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'll probably play a clip of it right here. We will say hello again, or you don't know what I will be next. And that's just definitely setting up Paul Bettany for the future. And don't forget, Paul Bettany has been with us for the MCU since the beginning. My man was Jarvis. Do not forget about Jarvis. I'm happy that they're still going to use Paul Bettany either as the White Vision or maybe they combine him somehow in the future, whatever. I'm happy that's not a final goodbye to him, and it's not a final goodbye to the children either, because remember, family is forever. And with that, that's how this show on WandaVision is. Wow, if you have not seen it, you better go see this show. I don't know what you're waiting for, honestly. And I don't know what you're waiting for to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Like this video. Go share this video with a friend. Tell me what you think of my thoughts on the comments below. Please, remember, we're going to 100. We're going to 100. Hop on before it's too late. Hop on before it's too late. Come on. Come on. Let's get there. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll see you on the next ENN episode. I love y'all. Later.